We are doing a little garden tour. So I've composted a lot of stuff into this bed. We do have some volunteer pumpkins coming up and some volunteer tomatoes coming around here. But this big one here is our Berkeley tie-dye green tomato, which we are getting some tomatoes
There's a really big one back
on
there.
it, and yeah, there's a big one back there too. So anyhow, we even have some volunteer red leaf lettuce. I've planted lettuce for quite a while, so we get some volunteers here or there. When they come up in the right area, then we just leave them. I've got some jalapenos here that I'm letting some of the seed pods dry. I should have seeds in there. We don't eat a lot of jalapenos, so kind of fun to grow. They don't grow too bad, but anyhow. And then we've got more lettuce. We have a Beauty King, two Beauty King tomatoes here, and I think we're finally getting it's heirloom too. All the tomatoes you're going to see are heirloom. We're getting a few on there, so I got more jalapenos, and then a couple a couple of mini red bell peppers. We harvested some lettuce seed off of this lettuce. This one's getting ready to pop out and go to seed like that. This is what'll happen first with your lettuce, and then they'll flower and open up and then turn into fluffy seed pods. This is green zebra, which is a really good heirloom tomato.
Got a big tomato back here. Really big.
Yeah, big tomatoes.
There are a lot of them. A lot of tomatoes.
Yeah, they're getting to be quite a few. They get a real zebra striped, a real good zebra striped tomato. A little bit tart, a little bit peppery. Really good on salads and stuff like that. You see the little flowers popping up in here. I have some radishes that we didn't get out in time, and that are going to seed. I've tried to save some radish seed before, but it's a pain in the butt. It takes a long time for them to produce the little seed pods, and the seed pods only have one or two seeds in them. It's kind of a pain in the butt, but I missed getting those done in time.
Has
Your doll, yeah.
Rose petals.
I got green beans here. I need to tie my trellis back up. I've also got some black vernissage heirloom tomatoes here, which is supposed to be more of a kind of a black and green cherry-sized tomato when they're done. So anyhow, we've got some broccoli over here. We moved it into this spot. It's doing pretty well now, but it's getting hot fast, so I don't know if I'm going to get big florets or if those are going to turn, if they're going to mostly turn into seed heads, very shortly.
A mini volunteer corn, like a tiny volunteer corn.
And we got Atkinson tomato over here, which
tomato.
Yep, we are getting some tomatoes on these Atkinson tomato plants. More green beans in the corner here. We are getting some green beans finally on there. Well, we had some in the fall too, but then it went from being super hot to being pretty cold pretty fast, so the green beans didn't do as well as I wanted in the fall. Yeah, we got another volunteer lettuce. Yeah, we did have a little cabbage looper on him. He fell down in there. We'll have to find him later.
We got that guy.
Yep, and then we've got our orange tree, which has oranges, and it is blooming like crazy. We're going to get a really good crop of oranges this year.
Skip the strawberries.
Oh, we already did the strawberries on another video. We can loop back around. I've got green cabbage down here. There are a couple of plants behind those two, which are red, like Ozark red bell pepper. I got a few tomatoes over here. And some of these guys are very red. You can see them down in there, but it's time to harvest some more tomatoes. There's a lot of green ones still coming too. So it was a weird year. Some of my tomatoes grew extra tall without fruiting a whole lot. They flowered pretty heavy, but I think it was just too brutally hot for the pollen. I think the pollen dried out before it could really pollinate the flowers and stuff. So anyhow, now I'm getting a fair amount of fruit setting. There is another jalapeno pepper here, and it looks like it's going through its whole new set of blooming and producing more fruit. So more jalapenos than I'm going to know what to do with. We eat a little bit here or there, but sometimes the plants can be pretty prolific. Never grown it before, but back here I have celery. And this is the first time, and these plants, they're the tiniest little plants when you're getting them going and getting them started. But they are getting, they're probably as tall as they normally are right now in the store. The stalks just aren't as thick yet. So anyhow, they're thickening up and everything. So that's kind of a fun experiment. That's heirloom also. So we'll see how that goes. I got red cabbage over here too, and some of these heads are doing pretty well, and some of them are kind of small. I've had a few cabbage loopers on a few things here or there. I got some lettuce here.
I have a friend.
Some lettuce here that's going to seed.
I have a little friend.
Oh yeah, you have a little cabbage looper.
Yep.
So we got carrots down here and stuff. I had some peas on the trellises back there, but it was too brutal when they were planted. The temperature should have been cooling off, and they just didn't cool off fast enough, and the peas really struggled. I got a little more lettuce and kale. Some of my kale just looks phenomenal. This curly leafed kale we put it in soups and stuff, and man, it really tastes phenomenal. But look how nice that looks. And a lot of these I've trimmed plenty of kale off of. That's a nice thing with some of your green leafies. You can go trimming off some of the lower leaves and be bringing things in for salads and soups and things like that.
What is that?
And it continues to to grow and produce. In here, yeah, I got a mixture of a lot of different greens and leafies and stuff in here, but there is a couple of volunteer tomatoes. Since I didn't have any tomatoes in this bed, I just let them go. I figure if I got some volunteers, and if they're gonna produce, then I'll let them produce. Yeah, the birds will do that. There was a red pepper there, and the birds pecked it to death. I've left it on there in case they come back down to get some more. They'll take your tomatoes if they see them.
And your strawberries too.
Yep, yeah, the strawberries they did too. Here's another volunteer. Some of these volunteer tomatoes, I think, as long as they weren't close to my heirloom stuff, I left them. And if they're going to produce, then heck, we'll let them produce and we'll eat them too. So anyhow, that's the bulk of our garden beds right now. I had a different video where I showed underneath the citrus tree, the orange tree, there is strawberries under there. So we're always trying to get more and more areas going, but I've got kind of burnout. 2020 was a crazy year, very little moisture, just a lot of craziness. I did a lot of composting, a lot of planting, a lot of caring for things, and it does kind of take a toll on you. So I think as it gets hot here in the desert this year, I'm going to let things just kind of fizzle out and harvest what I can harvest, and probably compost plants under and just continue to compost for the summer, and probably try to get ready for the fall again. But anyhow, that's kind of my thoughts. Who knows? I may have some tomatoes, some heirloom tomatoes go prolifically wild, and maybe I'll put some time into nursing them, nursing them through the summer. There's nothing like good heirloom tomatoes. So anyhow, that is that is basically our garden tour.
We will plant more flowers, hopefully.
Yeah, we'll see what we're gonna plant. The yard's a little bit messy right now, but we will do some evaluation this summer.
Yeah.